Now, Prince Harry has officially left the country for the USA. Officially now, after confirming his primary residency is no longer in this country.
The change in residency status was seen in filings published by Companies House, where the Duke's country of residency is now listed as the USA, 4 years after initially making the move. That means it's final, doesn't it, Tom?
Yeah, that means it's all proper and official. But let's get more now with the royal commentator, Angela Levin. Angela, thanks for making the time for us this afternoon.
Fine.
This is perhaps confirming what we knew all along. Prince Harry is now a Californian.
Yes, it's a huge change, of course, because how he'll be treated in the UK, how the obligations are far fewer and diminishing as we speak. But I think he said that because, again, he's so furious with how he thinks he's been badly treated. The date that he has changed was last year. No, he actually filled in the forms last year, but they were only released yesterday. But he actually did them on the day that he and Meghan had to leave Frogmore Cottage. They'd rented from the royal family, from the Queen. But as they were hardly ever there, the Queen had it in her mind that she would put Prince Andrew in there because he doesn't need a great, huge mansion. But that didn't work with Prince Andrew. But it was enough for Harry. He'd been there that year and barely used it, and that was the end of it. So they think, and newspapers as well have said they've been thrown out. But actually, lots of people get a time of a year, say, to use a flat or to use a home. So I think that's just being nasty about the royal family. But they have gone. So with that goes him possibly being a councillor of state. And these are people who can stand in for the monarch if they're away or unwell. There has to be 4 of them, and it has to be done by hierarchy. But the vital point is that they actually have a home in the UK. As he doesn't, that's the end of anybody's worries that he's going to sign a document one day if the Queen or if the King or anybody else is unwell, and actually, or hand it over to Meghan, and it'll be a complete disaster and fury amongst the population. So that's gone. It will also make it much harder for him to be looked after by the police when he comes over, because if he's not an English citizen, then he definitely won't have number 1 protection, and that is protection officers with guns. The rest are not. There's lots of very good protection officers, but they're the only ones that are allowed guns. And Harry has said he can't bring his family because of that. He doesn't feel safe. But now that's definitely out. And also he will perhaps stop his yearly sort of anguish about the British press, which he's trying to make it a whole different one and not be nasty and have misinformation. He's taken everybody to court that he possibly can. And I think that he will not be able to continue to go on and on and on about that.
Angela, do you think that this is a sign that Harry is finally accepting that he's made his bed and he has to lie in it, and now he's going to commit himself to being a Californian, and he's going to back out of any of these suggestions that he might come back to assist the royal family, which I'm sure many people, yourself and myself included, I'm sure, don't want that to happen?
I don't think so, actually. I think it's actually he's so angry with us in the UK, so angry with his family. It's a sort of remains of spare where he feels he's just been so badly treated. And I think it's sort of a nasty thing to do. I don't think he'll be happy doing that, because he did say, and he said many times before, London is my home, I love it, and it will always be that way. And I think he's done it just to say na 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 in words. But I don't see him being very happy. He's a very sad man, and nothing is quite right. And I think it will be something that he feels he has to do, not really wants to do.